Some of the things that Mike helped me with that I learned from were, for example, guilt. Not to be feeling so guilty. Because while I was in the court system, you know, the judge would tell me, you have such and such date to stop your 20-year addiction, or you're going back into a cage. That's easy to say, but not easy to do. So that put me under a lot of pressure. I got a gun behind my head, you know, ready to go, you know, prison time again, if I don't all of a sudden magically wave a wand and stop what I've been doing for 20 years. That's a lot of uncomfortable pressure, which was relieved by smoking more crack. It's a vicious circle. What Mike did with his sessions with me was let me feel that it's not that serious, that the world's not going to end if I slip, that I'm a good person, that past events in my life are past, and let it go, get over it. For example, when I was 7 years old, I remember my dad spitting in my face and telling me what he'd been telling me many times. You're a loser, you're stupid, you're not going to amount to anything. You know, after hearing that enough times, eventually you come to believe it and act act the role. So all during, you know, my school, you know, elementary, junior high, high school, I played the role because I, you know, accepted the fact that I'm not going to amount to anything, that I'm not as good as the others, not as smart. So my self-esteem was real low, and I only felt comfortable hanging around quote-unquote losers like myself, fuck-ups, you know, that sort of thing, you know, the riff-raff crowd. That's what I felt comfortable and accepted in because that's what I felt I was. So I was out of place if I was with the, you know, other people that, you know, had it going on, that weren't getting in trouble, that were doing what they were supposed to do, not bending the rules. That wasn't my place. So it's kind of understandable that I ended up, you know, into drugs and all because of the crowd I was hanging around. You know, that's part of it. And my self-esteem was very low. So I said, sure, I'll try it. Mike helped me to let go of the pain of my dad spitting in my face, my mom basically abandoning me when I was a toddler. There's a picture of me wearing, when I was like 2 years old, wearing this, you know, Mickey Mouse, little plastic Mickey Mouse mask, kind of with a little rubber band and bag that holds on. My sister said, look at that picture of you. And I said, oh yeah, it's cute. He says, what do you see wrong with that? I say, nothing. What's wrong is you never took that mask off. You always hid behind that mask. So my self-esteem was shot to hell at 2 years old. You know, obviously I've wondered what it is that was wrong with me. You know, I must have, you know, been a bad kid or something for my mom not to want me and to leave, and just, you know, give me to my dad, who spit in my face and stuff. So I didn't realize, now that I'm older, there were, you know, situations that my mom was under that I couldn't have realized or understood at that age. That she didn't want to leave me, but she was in a situation where she didn't have a choice, but an option, but I didn't, you know, I couldn't understand that. All I knew was my mom didn't love me, and so, you know, she gave me to somebody else because I must not, you know, I must be ugly or something. So Mike helped me to let that stuff go, to realize that there are other factors involved that I have no control over, and just to move on, that I'm a good person, and what's done is done. I don't have to keep punishing myself for things that I didn't do, that I wasn't guilty of. And so I feel so much more relaxed, and I'm not stressed like I was before. And now I don't have any gun behind my head with a prison bullet in it, none of that. I don't. When I first met Mike, I was still smoking. You know, when he was my probation officer, you know, I'd go for my visit, I was still smoking. But it came to the point where it just wasn't that serious anymore for me, and I wasn't so stressed out and needing it. Then it started becoming the point where I wanted it but didn't need it, and started phasing out. It just got less and less serious as I became less and less guilty and ashamed of myself. My self-esteem started growing. I started becoming happier with myself, and when you're happy with yourself, you don't really feel the urge to want to poison yourself. So that's just some of the things that Mike's done for me. Thank you.